Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Sue, the Soggy Stamper. It's just shortly after 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I am excited to show you some more about the Kindest Gnomes bundle. This is my feature bundle of the month for August. If you order the bundle from me, I would from my store, creationsbysue.stampinup.net, I will send you for free 5 tutorials to make not only the cards some of the cards that I'm showing you, and maybe a couple others. At any rate, you'll get 5 free tutorials if you buy the bundle from me. And the bundle number is, let me get it. It is in the fall mini catalog. And you can tell I've been open to this page a lot. So the bundle is number 159626. 159626, and the bundle is $49.50 in the United States. And it includes the dies and the stamp set. So here's the stamp set. It has some really interesting, fun things. It's not necessarily Christmas, but it does have Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Has warm wishes, could be any time during the year for that. Your kindness does not go unnoticed, and you gnome me so well. So this is the stamp set, and the bundle is, okay, the bundle is not here. The bundle is here, and these cut out the images from here and got the mushroom, and these 2 little circles, I believe, are the to put dots on your mushroom. And then you can also cut out of cardstock and put together a gnome like that. So you can choose what you want in the way of paper for that. And if you want to make it into a tag, you can add this little insert, and it will cut a hole up at the top for you while you're cutting out the hat. So you can put it all together with a really cute tag to add to a present. It has a couple of mushroom caps. See, there's the dots for the little ones, and a couple of stems and a little bit of grass. And you'll notice that the grass and the mushrooms here are embossed, so is the beard. So you not only get to cut it out, but you can emboss it. So those are the dies and the stamp set. Also, in the suite is this wonderful designer series paper, which I will be using. And included also are the, okay, I've got them here someplace. I did have them here. Here they are. These are the fine sparkle adhesive back gems. Let me show you. How they sparkle. They're kind of cross-hatched on the surface. You can kind of see it a little bit. Kind of like you would cut up a muffin or something like that. And then there's puff paint. It has a little bit of, I think, shimmer into it. Snowfall Accents puff paint. And then it has ribbon in the bundle. And the ribbon is balmy blue and white, and it actually is they've been stitched together, the balmy blue and the white, so it's a double ribbon. And I thought maybe it was just adhered by glue or something, but it's actually stitched, so you can go ahead and make yourself a bow and not worry about the two levels. Kind of a neat way to have a double layer bow without having to worry about holding the pieces together. So that is the suite, and you can order under one single number the whole suite, and not have to order all the single pieces if you like all of it, like I did. Okay, so for today, first off, I'll show you. This is the one I demonstrated last week. And this is a waterfall card. And I used a lot of the designer series papers on this. Come on. It does come through here so that you can see it all. And I chose not to put anything on the bottom here. If you were to put a die cut, you would have problems with the mechanism working. So I put the greeting right here. And then on the back, no, this one actually I made, fold him back up again. The reason that was a little tight is I used tear and tape here on the sides, but I got it a little bit too far in so that the thing barely gets through. But this one I made as a full card so that it could stand up like that. You could just have this and put a piece of white cardstock over that to put to sign and stuff. So that was the card I demonstrated last week. And this one, I don't know if I have the courage to demonstrate. I will, probably next week. This one is a cascading gatefold card. Folds up like that and fits into a 5.5 by 4 1/4. Fits into our medium envelopes. And then it opens out like that. So you have this wonderful panorama using, again, some of the different designer series papers. I colored the gnome this time with watercolor pencils, and then used an aqua painter to blend them in. So that, I think I'll do this one next week. And today, this is the card that I'm going to use. You can see I've got some of those gems scattered on here. This one's a fairly straightforward one. Mostly has coloring to it. And I've done most of the coloring because you know how to color. Anyway, starts with an 11 by 4 1/4 piece of basic white cardstock, scored and folded at 5 1/2. And where did my seal go? And I used the Starry Sky piece 4 by 5 1/4. Like that. And this is one of the designer series papers out of the Storybook Gnomes. And I cut it out using the largest of the decal dies. The largest ones of these decal dies. To add a little bit of interest instead of just cutting it straight. So it fits on kind of like that. Sorry about that. I should have put my phone on mute. Are we still live? Oh. Someday I'll get it perfect. Ha! Not in a chance. Okay, so now that's all taken care of. I've got this gentleman already done. I'll put him down there with Stampin' Dimensional. I colored him with Stampin' Blends for all of these. I love the way you can color and still see the image behind it. So for him, I used the light starry sky for his hat, and for his clothing, I used dark mango melody, and for his face and stuff, I used one of the Tones Stampin' Blends. And this one is 500. The numbers came when they first introduced them as a special purchase. And I see in the catalog that they are now 5 sets of a dark, a medium, and a light. So this one, I'm not quite sure where it fits into the catalog. Next week I will have that figured out for you and show you the differences in the tones. Anyway, I used this marker for his face and hands, and then I used the light basic black, I believe, for the soles of his feet. So he's there. Okay, so this guy, now I'll put on the label up here on the top too while I'm at it. I don't know about you, but I don't like to waste any of the Stampin' Dimensional stuff. So I'll take a piece of the edge and put it on there, and that fits along the label just perfectly. Attach that up there. Okay, now on to coloring. So for this guy, this is the one I'm working on. I used the dark parakeet party for his clothes. For his nose and his hands, I used the very lightest of the natural blends. And for his hat, and I used real red for his mouth. For his hat, I'm using light mossy meadow. And I wanted to show you a little bit about using the blends if you aren't familiar with them. You can, it has a brush end, and then it has a bullet point end where you can have finer control. If you want to, say, color in that part. And they both work well. I happen to like, for the most part, to use the brush end because you can just brush it on and see that ink kind of soak through the fibers. You do have to be careful when you're using stamping blends that you have protection behind you, underneath it, because it does soak through to the cardstock, the back side of the cardstock some. And then you can add some layers to it if you want to show shading. Make it a little darker in some spots to show like it's This part's light because that's where the light's hitting it. Now, if you made a mistake, fortunately on this one I did not, but if you made a mistake and wanted to get rid of it, we have the color lifter, and what you do is you moisten the area where you want to get rid of it with the color lifter, and it doesn't really pick up the color, see, but you can push the color over to the side. I wonder if that's dry. Oh, it's pretty dry. At any rate, you can nudge the color away from. Yeah, see how it is lightening the color there and pushing the color back over towards the center. So if I wanted to lighten this a little more, I could push the color back a bit. Okay, so he's ready to be cut out. And then let's do the other one. For this gentleman, I used the light real red. Nope, this is dark poppy parade. The reds kind of are hard for me to, I have to pretty much look at the labels to tell, particularly with this poppy parade, because to me it's very much like real red, just a lighter shade of it. Has a little more orange to it, I think, than real red. There's that. And his feet, I used the dark smoky slate. I used the light basic black for that, so you can see there's a slight difference. For his beard, I used light soft suede. When you first start using blends, you might think, oh, this looks crappy because it isn't smooth. You can see my brush strokes and stuff. But as it dries, it blends itself out. That's why it's called blends. So there's his beard. For his skin, I used the SU 700 from that first set. And then for his clothes, I chose to use light seaside spray. I think this is a retired product, sorry. I'm going to change that. I'm going to use bony glue. That's another navy. apologize. This is the balmy blue. The Seaside Spray is retired, but it is kind of a grayer blue. Let me show you the difference. Well, I can show you here. So this is balmy blue. And this is the Seaside Spray. See, it's grayer. I hope they bring that back because it made perfect color for water, like the ocean. Okay, so he's done, so it's time to cut them out. And I'll get my minis emboss and cut. Since it has a width of about 3.5, I have to cut my cardstock down a little bit and get my dies. And this guy, this is the die for him. Line him up and stick him on with some washi tape, or you could use blue painter's tape. Anything that's on low stick tape will work to hold it in place. Stampin' Up! Tried to get magnetic platforms for this, tried to make them, and ran into technical problems with quality control and stuff, so they have decided to postpone that project indefinitely. If you ordered for the regular sized cut and emboss machine and have it, you can and have the plate, you can get your money back and not have to return it. So there's one. Trim this a bit too. And he's this die. I like this mini because most of our dies work and with it, and it fits under here so easily, so nicely. So if you're in, if you have crowded stamping space, it's perfect for you. Okay, so we'll pop those guys up. There you have it. On the inside, you can stamp another greeting or handwrite your greeting. And then don't forget to sign the back because you are an artist. So, oh, the label. I cut out with this one of the seasonal label dies. I think I used this one. Yeah, this one. But you can see it's way too long. So I cut one end, cut it out, cutting both. And then you just move the die over. And you can feel when the cut part fits in, and then you cut this end. Little trick I learned, because it's hard sometimes to find a die that is exactly, that fits widthwise and is short. So I thank you for watching. If you have any comments, be sure to leave them. And when I get through with the taping, I'll answer them. I apologize for the coughing and for the phone call. Sometimes these just don't go quite the way you anticipate. So thank you for bearing through with me. This will be up on my YouTube channel in spite of the foo-faws. This afternoon, Sue the Soggy Stamper is my channel. And if you have any questions, you can email me, sue@soggystamper.com. And if you want to buy this bundle, like I say, my store is creationsbysue.stampinup.net. And I will put the cutting measurements and stuff onto my blog and give you a blog post for the final measurements and stuff. And that is soggystamper.com. So thank you, and you have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you again next Friday afternoon at 3. Bye-bye.